welcome back to the Road of Life podcast with Bennett and McKay. What are we talking about this week, Bennett?
We are talking about taking the stairs.
Sexy topic.
Cool. That's fun. This should be wrapped up in a minute.
This all started from a trip.
This was a trip that we took in Qatar
Yeah.
for the World Cup.
Yeah.
In 2022.
Yeah, November
2022. And it was fascinating to watch because the World Cup usually is hosted in the country and spread out in all these different cities,
so
right?
Like when we went to Russia in 2018, we went to like five or six
cities.
Different cities to see different
If
games.
you go to Germany, it's usually in 8 cities. Brazil, 8 cities. The next World Cup's going to be in 3
North
countries.
America.
And in like 10, 12 cities. So it's usually spread right out. But Qatar is a tiny country, and Doha is the capital, and it is the epicenter of the country. It's where everything happens. And so this was a really unique edition of the World Cup in that all the stadiums, all 8 of the stadiums, so all the teams were in this really concentrated area of like, I think it was like within like 40 or 50 kilometers of each other, or and whatever the mileage is, what's that, like 30 miles of each other or something.
And what's interesting about the World Cup in Doha, and not to gloss over all the controversy around it, like we won't get into it here, but taking all that into consideration, Doha was, these stadiums and the infrastructure was built for this World Cup, and they spent, I forget what the number is, something like $200 billion, more than every other
World Cup combined.
World Cup and Olympic preparation combined. Like, it was bonkers how much money was spent to prepare for this. And
lots of stadiums, lots of infrastructure, lots of metro, like lots of...
All the stadiums were on a train line. They built all the infrastructure for this World Cup. So it was very, very easy to navigate as an attendee, as a spectator of the World Cup, because every stadium you could get to on this brand new train line. And so all the teams were playing, all the people were in one city.
They're all around.
So it was a really unique experience. And so when we would go to these games, these stadiums are holding like 50, 60, 70,000 people.
Yeah.
And generally when you're arriving, we like to arrive like pretty early, see what's going on, check it out. So people are kind of arriving over a period of hours. But when the game is over and 70,000 people are leaving,
they're all leaving at the same time.
They're leaving at the same time.
Nobody's just hanging around. Everyone's just ready to get out of
beelining it, and
for the train.
Most people are taking the train.
Yeah.
So you've got tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of people trying to leave at the exact same time.
I've never felt more like cattle in my life, because how they do it is they block off. They want to get everybody going through certain ways, just for security reasons, and to make sure that, I guess it's probably for some efficiencies. I don't know, but they want everybody kind of going through the one or two exits, like 1 or 2 ways out. And so they barricade off. So you're basically going through, like if you were at a bank back in the day when we went to banks, they used to have the line that you'd walk through.
Yeah, you'd snake your way through it. And they also would have you walking longer than you needed to. Like you might be only 100 yards from the door of the stadium to the door of the train, but they'd have you walk 500 almost through these snaking barricaded areas to try and thin the herd before getting to the actual train cars, because you can't have tens of thousands of people trying to get on a train at the same time. So the longer they have you walk, the more thinned the herd becomes.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to power walk and keep up with Bennett, you're gonna go fast.
Yeah.
And so we'd be getting into these train stations, and then of course down the stairs or up the stairs, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
To the trains, to the train cars.
It was so fascinating to watch.
It was incredibly fascinating because there was literally thousands of people queuing up to take the escalator, and there's not a soul taking the stairs.
Like literally, there would be a line as long as the eye could see for the escalator. And literally 1 foot on the other side of the escalator is a completely open staircase.
Yep.
And sure, you have to go up a few flights, 2, 3, 4 sometimes, flights of stairs.
I doubt even 4, but
no, there were some that were 4. They're for sure. Like we were 20, 30 feet underground in some places. There was 4 or more, and literally stairs right there, and nobody on them.
Not a soul.
Literally not a soul on them.
Yeah.
And so we quickly we were like, well, but why not?
Is there something wrong with the stairs broken?
Let's just try it and see what happens. So we took the stairs, And
We must have bypassed 2,000 people. It was crazy.
easily, we flew up the stairs. And like, I'd take them two at a time. Like, let's get this done quick. And then when you do, you get to the train faster than like 10,000 people that you just left in your dust. But then also when you get to the train, there's queues to get onto the train. There's on to the various train cars. So there's different lines. The further you get from the top of the stairs or the top of the escalator, the less people there are.
Right.
Like there's like two people at this line, and next to the escalator there's like 35 people in line.
Right. So people are unwilling to go a little bit further down the platform to get to a train car that's going to be more empty.
So
none of them were empty in the end.
Not only are they not willing to take the stairs, most people, they're also not willing to walk the 100 feet on flat ground to the end of the platform to get in the car with the fewest people, with the line with the fewest people. So we quickly learned that if we go down there, we're less likely to get smushed.
And we're more likely to actually get on the car
train
when it arrives,
Yeah.
as opposed to having to wait for the next one.
And so we would literally, every game, we would literally watch this, and every time, same thing. There'd be a few stragglers that might take the stairs, but they were very few and far between. And there were fewer that would take the further train car. And we saved ourselves out. I'm sure there might be people still in those lineups.
It was bonkers. I've never seen anything like it.
But it was such a cool experiment just to watch this in live.
Social experiment.
Yeah. And just the lesson you can take from that in life is if you're willing to just do a little bit more, just a little bit more than most people, you'll get more than what most people have.
Exponentially more.
Like, we saved so much time. Not only, we didn't just save 5-10 minutes. We saved hours.
Correct.
And then you compound that over the various games that we went to, the various places, not even just games. Like, if we were out in public, like, it was packed. The city was packed with people. So everywhere was just people everywhere. But if you were willing to go just a little bit further and get in the line just a further down or take the stairs or whatever, you saved yourself. We literally saved ourselves hours and hours of time there that we were able to go and have other experiences that we didn't have to spend in a line.
Totally.
We went and did something cool.
Yeah.
And so it's just this really cool metaphor for life that if you're willing to do just a little bit more than most people, you'll get more than most people out of life.
And not even, for me, the amount of more you're willing to do, it's not a linear relationship to the amount of more you're going to get.
No, it's
if you're willing
exponential.
to do a little bit more, you're going to get a whole lot more out of life than most people.
Yeah.
Most people are doing the bare minimum that they need to do
To get by.
in their life.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do
Just a
little
little
bit more.
And in every facet, I'm gonna do a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna
Well,
do a little
it's
bit
Ed
more here.
Milet, right? The one more, the principle of one more.
Yeah. And you're right. It's not just, but the little bit more I do here adds to the little bit more I do here. No, it multiplies to the little bit more you do here. And then the little bit more you do here, it's even more. So you're actually separating yourself further and further from the pack each time you go that little extra bit more.
And so whatever taking the stairs means in different aspects of your life, you're going to have to figure out what that little bit more is in the different arenas of your life.
Yeah.
The stairs themselves are a really good place to start when you have the option. Take the stairs. It's good practice.
Yeah. And I think in some cases, the thing that you're going to do, like stairs, they're not largely scary and hard and there's not a lot of risk there. For some people, they could be really hard. If you can push through the hard, the fear, the scary, and do the thing that most people are not willing to do, you will get things in life that most people will just never experience. And that was just a really interesting live representation of that.
Well, it was just so obvious. Sometimes the lesson is a little bit hidden in life. This lesson was so neon flashing light in your face obvious that it was like, wow, there's a lot you can take from this.
Yeah. And also the escalators at the airport, the
moving
sidewalks, when people just get on, they use it as an opportunity to
take a break,
to stop and get a
free ride.
Get a free ride. But if you use it as it's intended, you'll actually get where you want faster.
It's meant to be an accelerator.
Yeah, it's meant to, if you are willing to put in a little bit of work, it's actually meant to get you better results faster. Yeah. And so kind of a similar analogy. But anyway, yeah, that we just thought that was fascinating that we wanted to share that one with you. So again, if you
If you like what
got
you
any
hear,
value? You like what you hear? Please share, subscribe,
review.
all the stuff, man. We just want to help people, and the more ears,
the better.
the better. So, all right, we'll talk to you next time. Road of life, yes, you are.